Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts, Stocks, and Crypto TA live stream. It's actually Friday night here in the USA. It's August 4th, 2023, about just before 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm streaming earlier today. So my streaming schedule actually changed a little bit this month. Try to do either sometime between Friday and Monday, depending on my schedule. So, preparing for this upcoming week, we're still in earnings season. The two big tech weeks have completed, and we had some mixed data and some strong sell-off and pullback on some of the other tech stocks, which we'll take a look at. First off, what's coming up this week? Palantir earnings. UPS is going to be a big one because of the potential strike that was going to happen. We have some of the auto companies and accessories like Blink Charging, Li Auto, Lyft is in there, Rivian, Plug Power. The big companies, Disney is also in there, and some smaller companies like Roblox and Alibaba that some traders like to trade. Now, the economic data we have some FOMC speeches, Federal Reserve speeches, not the official chairman, but other regional members. We have CPI, core CPI, PPI, core PPI. That's just some of the basic inflation data. Although the FOMC is closely watching more core inflation, PCE, unemployment data, and retail sales, as well as unemployment claims. Consumer sentiment does matter. Last week and 2 weeks, we had some mixed earnings, and the economic data was mixed, some good, some bad. That's why we're having a big sell-off. We had that technical bearish momentum, which I'll show in a few minutes. We also have the stock market earnings season is continuing. Now, we had some big news on crypto. Okay, some additional clarity coming out from Coinbase CEO in their conference call, and news article. So first off, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong said on the conference call, which I encourage everyone to read or listen to, he said that the crypto exchange Coinbase wants to stay in the USA. It's very difficult for them to just leave because all the assets are here, meaning all the money is here in America. Customer money, funds, cold storage, for the most part. And he asked a judge to dismiss the SEC lawsuit against Coinbase, basically claiming that cryptos are not securities and that they're more like baseball trading cards, which the courts will ultimately decide that. I did see another news article saying that the SEC chairman who started this lawsuit earlier this year asked Coinbase to delist all of the altcoins except for Bitcoin. So that was big news to me. It's not just about the 68 coins on CoinMarketCap that's flagged by SEC. SEC effectively wanted to destroy USA crypto and kick it all out of the USA and move it to international, right? Or just destroy altcoins. So we have to just understand that was the battle that these crypto exchanges are fighting against. Now, in other news, a different federal judge in New York, this is a separate second judge, rejected the ruling of a previous federal judge, another person, regarding Ripple XRP cryptocurrency. So basically, we have one judge saying Ripple's not a security, not violating SEC laws. And then recently, another opposite judge is saying, actually, no, that's not true. Ripple is violating SEC security laws, and the lawsuit against Terraform Labs and Luna Creator is okay to proceed with that lawsuit. So the battle still continues. All right, this is actually not good news. You can see the government, USA government, and federal and state legislative entities are fighting against these crypto exchanges every month. Every month. Okay? That's going to affect the price. And why am I spending so much time on that? Is because you don't see this on the chart, the technical chart. It's actually kind of very, very important. All right. Litecoin had a sell the news event. It occurred due to the halvening, unfortunately, but it has happened before. The first halvening, Litecoin price skyrocketed up. Second halvening, Litecoin price crashed. And third halvening, Litecoin price pulled back, sold off. Makes sense because it was up a lot. All right. last news, Binance did $90 billion of crypto trading business in China. Ironically, crypto trading has been illegal in China since 2021 and since 2017, where they got kicked out of China due to regulatory crackdown. So Binance right now is they're really trying to change things up for them, and they're seeking to reopen a new crypto exchange in Japan. This is after they were basically rejected out of Europe. So the story continues, and the SEC lawsuit is still underway against Binance. They're trying to really strengthen their law counsel team. Okay. So let's move on to stocks. That's just all the news, the bigger news that happened this week, aside from all the stock individual earnings. So welcome everyone. I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We have a Twitter group as well, starting with stocks, S&P 500. What's the TA? On this daily chart, we did get the pullback that I was anticipating for about 2, maybe 3 weeks now. I've been saying we've been having this bearish divergence. We had this bearish double top here on the RSI, double top on MACD signal lines, and this bearish momentum on the MACD. So then we finally had the bearish catalyst wherein we lost our uptrend, just the beginning of it. It's because of big companies like Apple. Amazon had a nice gap up. Apple had bad revenue news. Okay, and Apple had a big sell-off. That's what pulled this down. This is not good. It could be a dip, okay? Long term, if I look at the weekly, it could be a dip in the longer term. But what I'm saying on a weekly chart, high, low, we haven't had a higher low for a long time, for 3 to 6 months. That's why this is perfectly normal. We will be in big trouble, the price, if this happens. We double top. Let's say we pull back down to 440, double top, and then it does not go higher anymore for the rest of the year. Then we're in trouble. And then it'll downtrend. Shorts will attack. Shorts are already primed to attack. That's why I learned from experience. You could see we have this evening star candle pattern, sort of psychological setup, just a very large bearish engulfing candle. So last week's earnings was not very good, if I'm honest. The only good news is we're still in this golden cross uptrend on the daily. You can see the larger yellow trend line below. This blue circle is all support. So yes, the bearish pullback did occur, but if you're a day trader, you know this is an oversold condition, probably on like a 5-minute right there when you hit that on Friday, right? It's still down there. If we look at a 15-minute, it's down there. So day traders might get a little whipsaw action going on if you're a 6:30, 9:30 a.m. day trader on the stock market. Resuming a little bit, the 60-minute, we're starting to have a little bit of bullish momentum, starting to form. It's not quite there yet. Just watch out for this whipsaw. We have the fading and the short back down. Okay, you want to watch out for that type of thing. Setup. On the 240, it's not extremely oversold yet. The Bollinger Band didn't get pierced down to the downside where we are right now. This is not a futures chart, by the way. So just something to watch out for. H4, the best entries are when you get, support dip or something like that. This is more of a piercing down. So the H4 could be like June, where it's fading down for approximately almost 2 weeks, so 1 to 2 weeks of pullback and fade down on the price. It's only been one, let's say from the actual lower high, so it's been about 4 days. So it might be halfway through this move. That's why I'm not going to jump right into it to try to do anything. But that's because I'm more of an investor long-term mindset right now. Because I like this. Golden cross, pullbacks are normal. That's normal. If we want some proof, we just rewind back to the pandemic. How many large pullbacks do we have after this golden cross in June 2020? Generally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 medium. There's some small ones here, like a big one here, 6, 7. So it happens. It happens. And like I said before, -8% to -10% to about -9%. And that pullback before it starts to bounce up because it gets oversold on those intraday conditions. How much did we really pull back? Pull back 2.5%. If somebody, the hedge funds are really sweating, but in terms of retail traders, it's not a huge problem if you're a retail trader, right? Because I got in a good entry spot, right? If somebody just bought 5 days ago, they're in hot water right now, big trouble. But my style is I get in way earlier. These larger types of dips. Somebody could have even bought here, got lucky a couple times on the resistance rally. But, once we have this breakout type of thing, it's kind of the last chance to get in right there. And if it pulls back, that's fine. It can pull back all the way back to the 440, 427. Hopefully it doesn't dip too low until 415. If it goes to 400, we're in trouble. That's the loss of the uptrend, most likely. So you just want to watch out for that. If you have a request or question, just let me know right away in the live chat so I know, we could queue up the questions instead of waiting for the end. If you have a request, try request, just type the ticker symbols in, type in your question right now. And if it's crypto, we could do it in about 10 minutes from now. All right, so QQQ here, we had this double top on tech. And again, tech stocks pulled back, but it's very subtle. I did draw a purple parabolic line for about 1 or 2 streams, exactly explaining why do we need to watch out for this. Is because this blue line is parabola. We're hitting that support 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We lost the support, double top. Shorts are going to attack that. That's a shorting opportunity if you understand the charts. Resistance, where do we have it? 387. Resistance at 387. Where's that going to pull back down to if I measure that move? 2.67% to downside. 359.84. About 348.48. Okay, so we just want to watch out at those 2 spots. It's still in this uptrend. The longer term weekly is very similar, more steep, however. You can see it's all fanned out. It's not the NASDAQ actually stayed in a golden up cross, which is phenomenal. But in terms of the higher low, high low, high low, we haven't had a higher low since like 330 area, somewhere here. Okay, so we could get this pullback, and if it revives itself to retest all-time high is great. It can consolidate, scenario 2, or we can bearish pullback. If it starts to pull back hard, I'm going to have to sell some of my portfolio as an investor. But as an investor, I understand, like I said many times on streams, pullbacks are normal. If we're uptrending, the pullback might just be a dip. And then all these shorter term time frames go oversold, all the algorithms and the bots and the AI will flash buy signals for a trade, and then it'll reverse, and the shorts have to close out their position. Little short squeeze happens. That happens all the time. So we just want to make sure we're in the beginning of a dip. It's not downtrend unless you're on a 1 minute chart or 2 minute chart. As an investor, this is not a downtrend. We're still in the uptrend. DIA, Dow Jones. It pulled back down to where? This is one of my 26 EMAs, 349.77. It's still in the up cross, although it's a large consolidation. It's turned into an ascending triangle pattern, which we have not really tested. We tested it, we floated around there, around 340, but it pulled back down. And now the question remains is, are we going to bounce off of this 26 EMA, the purple one, or are we going to lose that, hit the 50 EMA, 100, or the 200 EMA? And the support level, support is somewhere down here in the 342 range. There's actually room for it to go down. I don't want it to go down, but if the technicals are showing me that that's the potential target, some algorithms might target that over time. We have this potential. It's not quite a textbook evening star, but the last time we had a real evening star, we pulled back how much? 6%. That's a lot for NASDAQ. That would pull us back down to 334. Want to watch out for that. 334 is just above our 50 EMA. And we were already in this overbought condition here on the daily. All right, this is what I'm talking about. It just starts building. Usually my bearish divergence calls are about 2 weeks early, so people have plenty of time to figure out what they're going to do. And then I just wait for that big bearish momentum, right? This is losing momentum, losing momentum. Sometimes I don't wait for a MACD down cross because it's too slow. This is flatlining sideways. The most likely scenario, what is it? It's going to pull back down a little bit. Somebody just traded that short, 1.36%. Sounds like nothing. If you do an inverse ETF, double, triple ETF, keep it simple, or you're on leverage on shorts, which is dangerous for beginners. But sometimes just playing SPY, DIA, and QQQ is the play. Trying to sift through 5,000 stocks or 7,000 stocks sometimes takes too much time, or it's too confusing for some people. So that's why I just focus on the indexes. I focus on getting the big moves right. Focusing more on win rate rather than the most volatile stock and crypto in existence. Very quickly, gold. Somebody asked me for this last week, and the bearish case came true. Remember I'm saying it could pull back down, and that's exactly what happened. It could have went up, yes, but the upside down head and shoulders made more sense. And we start to have this weird, almost bar pattern, this head and shoulders type of pattern that lost the neckline right here about 181. That's what we sold off. Started downtrending, so it's downtrend continuation. Now what I'm watching for is if this is an oversold on a shorter term time frame, boom, underscore, underscore, like this, in terms of inverse head and shoulders, now I'm watching for, will the support hold in the 179 range? So two scenarios in my mind. Yes, bullish, it's going to bounce up from there and bounce up to 183 area, or maybe retrace back to like 182. If not, it's going to pull back down to 177, okay? Because that's the target. It's been tested there numerous amounts of times. It's 4 times down there in the horizontal support. So I want to watch out for that. Okay, 177. Support, it's still up crossed. Support, support. So now just waiting to see exactly what is it going to do. It's stuck between there. Because as an investor, if I'm only looking at daily, weekly, you have to let the candles complete. Sometimes you could get in a little bit earlier on the swing trading of H4, H1. Not extremely oversold. So just one simple indicator of if I want a highest percentage trade, I have to kind of wait a little bit more for that. All right, let's go to silver very quickly. Silver is similar. I'm just going to say it's very similar to save time. Potential upside down head and shoulders, but it's got to dip deep into this area, about $21, and then see if it can pump back up. But the fact that it's lost this support, you see the yellow trend line, lost yellow trend line, could not get inside, and it needs to not drop below 2050. If it does, silver will be shorted down pretty hard. Quickly, US oil. US oil, all right, we have an EMA golden cross. Find the yellow 50 EMA crossing above the 200 red EMA. Those are my colors that I like to use. It is starting to get into the overbought zone. Not quite yet. It could go up a little higher, but once we have sometimes what happens is the algorithms know. As soon as this happens, you sell off. Because on shorter term time frames, 15-minute H1, H4 could be getting higher in the RSI level. So it's starting to upcross here, but sometimes it could keep going or it gets a pullback. So just watch out for that. If you're trying to trade oil, upside target 77.52, downside target 67, just to retest and hold that area. It's also 50% retrace on the Fibonacci. Check the weekly, just see any secret clues going on here. Hanging man candle as well, that's why. It's kind of losing steam a little bit after the short squeeze here. So I'm gonna watch out for that. UNG, like I said, has to break and hold above 740. 734, 740 area, okay? So we have this underscore potential upside down head and shoulders, but it's not real. It's really dirty looking. It's not perfect. It has to break above that neckline, and then we get that breakout. But if it does explode to the upside, I mean, it's 25% profit, short squeeze, when and if it ever happens. It's not guaranteed. That's why I'm not going to drill down too much into that. Some of the momentum is building, and it really seems to be flagging here. It's almost in a broadening wedge formation. I call it megaphone. Essentially consolidation. but we do have a large amount of momentum that's building under there. It's just a matter of time, correlate with fundamentals. Okay, I do want to highlight just some of the moves. I don't see any question or anything, so I'm just going to look at a little bit of stock. So Apple, what was the big news? Apple had some bad revenue, and this is what I'm talking about. I highlighted this many streams in a row. Many streams in a row. This is how you could use technical analysis on some of the biggest stocks in crypto in your favor to increase the odds of your trading or your charts. So I knew Apple was in an uptrend for basically the whole year, at least since March, right? So we're in this uptrend. I drew the resistance, I drew the support. I knew as soon as it's going sideways, we have this oversold and we have this bearish momentum. It's actually here for an entire month. Look at this secret clue right here. MACD is down crossed for all of July. That is bearish. That's bearish signal. Literally the MACD below the signal line. What about this clues here on the RSI? If we zoom in on it, it's making lower lows and lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. It's downtrending itself, tightening here, right? And even the RSI plummeted below that symmetrical triangle. You can even use TA on that. The price itself, the ultimate indicator, what was happening here? We essentially had a triple top or double top bearish momentum reaction, bad negative catalyst, and this is what happens. All the shorts in the market are going to attack that down, negative 6%. Thursday, post-market into Friday. This is exactly what happened. Okay. It looks good, but if you actually listen to the phone call, they're saying revenue is down. So that's like a secret. They try to tuck that in there, and people caught that and shorted it down. Because this is abnormal. This is algorithmic. Somebody's, this is just everyone playing the safe stock of Apple, and then you get a big pullback. Now, where's it going to go? That's the big question. Okay, 3 scenarios. We know that this thing pulled back, Apple stock, gap down. So it's probably going to be continued there in 6:30 a.m. Monday. It's probably going to try to get pulled down even more. It's going to be a fight, though. I used to be a day trader, so I know it's going to be maybe oversold short and then a bounce up, maybe just for a quick 15 minutes, and then the shorts are going to try to attack it back down. This happens all the time on day trading. But for swing trading, we're waiting for, yes, we're in the oversold range, and it's highlighted by the new RSI, but I don't like to play this left side play. I like to play what I call double bounce, or just wait for it to exit that RSI. Does that make sense? Because if it comes in on the left side, it's plummeting down like into the ocean or down into the ground. It doesn't mean it's actually going to come back up right away. So when RSI starts to reverse, that's when you start to see a little bit of signs of reversal on the price, because the price has to revive a little bit. It's getting a little bit too technical, but what I'm saying is I wait for a price pattern to show up. I don't just play red sticks, candles, okay? Wait for this thing, a little price pattern to show up, a little double bottom, a little higher low, something like that, upside down head and shoulders, V-shaped recovery on an intraday, something like one of those plays. What we don't want to happen in Apple on the bearish side, and all tech stocks, we do not want lower high and then lower low. That would crash the stock. It's normal. It could happen. Shorts have been waiting for 7 months to attack, right? On the weekly, we saw clues as well. Doji candle, shooting star, another shooting star, double top. Resistance, all-time highs. Now, it could pull back down, higher low. We haven't had a major higher low for 7 months. That's why it could go to 162, and that's actually normal. I don't really want that to happen, but it could happen. Now, on the bearish side, if it's just a short-term oversold, then it can bounce back up. Where's the immediate resistance? 186 or 190 area for a short-term trade. I'll just leave that as the example. Microsoft has been fading down, so very similar idea applies. It's been fading down. Short-term EMAs are down. Watch out for the lower low continuation. There might be a lower high bounce before an attempt. So it's starting to lose steam. Can we see that? It's going up and starting to go sideways. Still in the golden up cross. That's why I'm trusting these supports to at least get some kind of dip bounce. But if we never pierce through resistance, again, 366, 367, that is not good. That is not good. A quick look at Meta. Meta seemed to survive. Amazon had a beautiful gap up on wonderful sales, but still fading down. Take a Netflix, starting to consolidate a little bit. We are not in this wonderful uptrend anymore. You can see it's golden cross, but it's hesitating. Okay, so I'm not saying we're not going to a bear market right now. We're actually just going to a dip or a sideways. Okay, so we're not. I don't need to get afraid. I would be more fearful and initiate shorts if we have non-stop downtrend. Then, if you have a down cross, that's why you aggressively short that down on a bad news catalyst. This is more advanced trading. This is not for beginners, but just a visual example there. Now, other stocks I know people are interested in. AMD. AMD is starting to really flag and starting to descending triangle. Although we're still in the uptrend, right? We had the support. We're approaching the support zone right now. We do not want this thing to crash out of a descending triangle. That will crash negative 20%, and all AMD investors will be very unhappy about that. We don't want that to happen. We just want a dip and then continuation. We want the stair step pattern up to continue for bulls. Even for crypto, we need that. Okay? There's something to watch out for. And when I say okay, I'm talking to myself as well, just for mental purposes. Remind myself. Now, NVIDIA as well. Sometimes I don't like to use parabola because it confuses people. I like to use extended trend lines because you don't have to draw every single week. You just draw it once. Draw it once, and then once you have a break on that downside, NVIDIA has a little bit of a problem here. We have the August 23rd earnings coming up. The bearish momentum is building on technical charts. See, just like Apple, it's been fading down. The MACD is making lower lows and lower highs, so is the RSI. Any bad news, this thing can crash back down to at least 364 or 293 if the options big money really wants to crush this down. I don't want that to happen, but it's the market. So again, it's been in a tight upward rising wedge, and we see here somewhere in the 411 to 400 area. I want to watch out for that. Tesla as well. This is what I'm saying, golden up cross, but we're starting to see signs of head and shoulders. That's not good. So where is it going to pull back down to? So we're like 220. Let me erase this. This is so messy. Okay. On the weekly, we see higher high, higher low, higher high. Where's the higher low? Down to 209. And what Elon Musk could be doing with Twitter, his reputation in San Francisco and on the news, it's not the greatest right now. So that's having an effect on Tesla, right? If it was maybe somebody else, maybe they would focus more on the data, et cetera, and to reassure investors, right? But at the same time, they already reported earnings, right? This is post-earnings too. This is good top-line EPS and top-line revenue. It's still fading down, right? So these two numbers is not always the answer. Where's their support level? The 220 range. This is something I'm watching out for because there's level 2 resistance here at 280. If it's true bull market, we should find support and blast off higher. It's not happening yet. So beware of that. You don't want to get faked out. And this is what I'm saying about FOMO, is people who are entering at the way top one day before earnings. First off, I do not recommend playing earnings because no single person legally will know what the exact numbers are of what's going to happen. We can guess, someone can estimate, forecast, but for any beginners, intermediate out there, for stock trading, I do not recommend that. Just wait. I learned just wait. You could wait a day or two. For example, this educational advice. Sometimes when there's good earnings, right? It's not crypto. It's not going to go up and then collapse. If it's really good, it keeps going up for a little bit. That's why you can chase that. Not chase it, but you can catch that. If it's bad earnings, for example, like here, it gaps down and goes down a little bit. So you can catch a little bit of that short, right? The only safe way to do it is if you have a big margin of safety. Like Warren Buffett said, paraphrasing, but if there's a 10,000 pound by weight, very heavy maximum bridge, and I drive a 8,000 pound truck over it, that's too close, right? You want to, on a 10,000 pound bridge, You want to maybe drive only a 2,000 or 1,000 pound truck over it. You have a large margin of safety, protection, 80%, 90% chance of success. You're not going to fail. So that's why I do not recommend playing earnings unless you have a large margin of safety or you're playing some kind of options where it's safe for you, where the risk versus reward is good for you. 2-to-1, reward to risk. Okay. We have some questions. Before we go to crypto, let me answer some now. Somebody's asking me, hello, what is that colorful indicator that you are using? Colorful indicator. There are many colorful indicators. So you have to ask which one are you talking about? Solana, I'll look on that. Apple, yes, I've been calling the bearish divergence on Apple for maybe a month now. So most people, this is what I'm saying. My style of technical analysis, I'm analyzing things and calling things out, 2 scenarios, way before the market makes a move. That's why I have a higher success rate, is because I understand this is not going higher. So if it doesn't go higher, it's going to go sideways or short that thing down. And then we have bad news. That's the catalyst to short. I've learned trying to short an uptrend is like the worst thing possible. You got to short the bad news. The setup is there, but very experienced and professional traders know, wait for the earnings, bad earnings, boom, initiate the short. Right? Don't try to, beginners will try to anticipate. Professional will wait. That's what my mentors taught me. Hello, if you have a request for charts, let me know, because I'm moving on crypto now. Okay, welcome everybody. Moving on to crypto part of the section. I'm going to start with total Bitcoin, go down through the top maybe 5 or 10 coins if we get there. Let's start with total. Now, if you're just joining, there's 5 large pieces of news about crypto, Coinbase, Binance, SEC in the beginning, okay? So I would recommend, I always put the news in the beginning. It is not good to look at crypto in isolation and ignore all news and the stock market. It's not good to do that, in my opinion. Get tunnel visioned. That's how people get, crushed in downtrends, because if we're zoomed in this much, there's no context. What is this going on? Like, we're doing this, right? What is this? Zoomed in too much on a short-term time frame, or you're looking at 2 candles, doesn't mean anything. You gotta look at the bigger picture. If you're a swing trader or investor, that's what I'm saying. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Okay, total. Still in the uptrend, but it's consolidating. Very short-term analysis. 6 months. We're still uptrending. It's barely, but right now in the last 1 month, it's actually tightening consolidation. If we want to be very honest with this, I'll draw the dotted lines. You can see the symmetrical triangle. Right? So where's the actual support? The first support is about 1.08 trillion. The second support is somewhere below that, 1.04 trillion. So I'm going to leave the blue line here. This is not good. It's not good. If you're a long-term trader, investor of crypto, you know periods of hesitation is not good. We need the market to go up if you're a bull. Bears actually prefer this because they say, there's some problem here. And then if we lose this support, they'll try to short that thing down. Why is it going down? Lawsuits, regulation, SEC, regulatory crackdown, fights. There's not enough good news coming out right now. Inflation, not enough people have money. I remember I read a CNBC article saying that in America, potentially up to 50% of people's savings in the people surveyed said they used their 50% of their savings to live and survive. So Bitcoin, crypto is not at the forefront of people's mind right now. You look at the news, people are striking to make more wages here in the USA. Hotel workers, actors, writers, UPS delivery workers, all on the brink of strike or in current strike right now to make more wages. Nurses, teachers, okay? That's basically the infrastructure of like middle America. Does that make sense? So if people are concerned about making money, why would they put their money in the crypto after FTX imploded and SEC is trying to uh, kick all altcoins out of America, basically, right? So that's why this is happening. There are not enough bullish, good catalysts in the crypto market that's going to say, oh, we're just going to go up nonstop uptrend. That might happen if SEC loses and crypto Coinbase stays in America. That's probably going to happen then. Having events, ETFs is not enough. That's all old information. That's like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, hype plays, basically. It's not like that anymore. So back to the TA. Where's this thing going to go? Plus or minus 25%, 20 to 25%. If we break out to the upside, resistance 1.52 trillion. If we break down negative 25%, they'll crush the market to about 791 billion. So those are the two targets I have. Yes, on a longer term, much longer term. Okay. This could have been an upside down head and shoulders, but we have not broken above the slanted neckline of about 1.2 trillion. It would be nice if that happens because we get this and the Fibonacci, it's touching that 618. It needs to pierce up and hit the 50% retrace. That's what we really need in crypto. Okay, so you can see Fibonacci works. My X targets, they landed right on 786 and 50% retrace. Fibonacci is real. It's mathematics. So algorithms are using that as well. So now when we flip to Bitcoin futures, it's a very similar psychology. Okay, why do I have these blue lines drawn here? These are pullbacks. Pullbacks. Sometimes they fail, like in example 1. And then when we have an uptrend reversal, it is uptrend, 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 right? We are approaching on a weekly our support. Where is that? Approximately somewhere like 27, 28,000 area. We need buyers to come back or good news to stimulate the buyers to come back. And we need to break above 30,000, 30K. Only good thing is we're trying to on a weekly hold this structure, high, low, upstairs, higher, high. We're establishing the higher low. We're testing that phase right now. Pulling back in crypto, normal. It's not ideal because if you look in the past, we want this non-stop. Every week it's going up. That's how you know that's the real rally. If it's a up, down, okay, that's a normal rally, slower than usual. And if it starts going downstairs, that's a problem. We're still in the upstairs pattern. I'm going to call it uptrend pattern, right? We're starting to just barely see a little bit of loss of momentum here at MACD histogram, and the signal line did come down just a little bit of that tap below, but it could test this 100 EMA. So I'm not afraid of this. Okay, the only thing maybe I fear is the SEC banning crypto from America. That would be catastrophic. And SEC said they actually don't want to do that because they know it's going to cause a bank run on Coinbase and Binance, and all crypto prices will crash. It's going to be FTX number 2. No withdrawals, people rioting in the streets because they can't withdraw to their bank accounts. So the SEC said that they are aware of that. They're trying to prosecute, quote unquote, safely. But that's the analysis on Bitcoin. If we're not going to break above 33,000, that's a problem. We are still holding the golden cross, but now it's turning into Dow Jones. We're just going sideways. I don't like sideways as a bull, right? I'll just be honest. I don't like sideways because it gives the chance for the bears or for something bad to happen when we go sideways. And if the support doesn't hold about 25K, then shorts are going to destroy that. I've been waiting for that. All right, let's go to Ethereum USD. Very similar. You could see the up cross was underway, and then we're starting to fade and go sideways a little bit. Now it's starting to go into a symmetrical triangle. Very similar to Bitcoin in that it is tightening. There's still opportunities, but I only like to look on stream on the big coins. But the support level about 1750, see if that's going to hold or not. Okay. Resistance. We have resistance, but 2000. So bullish case, you'll know we establish a higher low and then breakout, retest, breakout. And then there'll be a buying opportunity in there if somebody wants to try that for educational trade. If it's bearish, it might try to pierce down to the 1750 range and try to bounce in here. And then if it fails, you'll know. And it'll start to downtrend if you understand the price movement. Weekly, what am I seeing? Lower high on the weekly. That's not good. I would be more excited if we had high, low, high, higher, low off of Morningstar and then higher high. We should be at Ethereum 2300 right now. It's not happening. Shooting star, bad news, consolidation sideways. You could see the downside target is clearly right here, 1600 on weekly bears. Watch out for that. Binance coin. Now, Binance has been stuck inside of this flag for many weeks now, and it's not going to really change until we have a bullish or bearish catalyst on the news. All I could do is measure this 15%, basically 12%. And that's the X target up here, right? We measured that last time, basically 10 to 12%. 213, our downside target. So, and it's inside a large descending triangle. That's why I can't really recommend Binance for technical and fundamental reasons right now. If it was 5 years ago and Binance was $5, that's a different story. It was a long time ago. But now Binance is $241 and they have a lawsuit against them. Usually in stocks, people don't like that and you'll be shorted down to oblivion by now. But it's crypto, so people are hodling. Now, XRP, let's see, XRP lost the momentum, right? Lost momentum. And we had the two judges ruling against each other, basically. That's why we had to fade down. This is why I don't chase too much. The FOMO as a day trader, I overcame that. Beyond that now, in terms of, it doesn't affect me as much anymore because I train myself and I'm explaining it just to help somebody out there because maybe somebody out there is struggling with FOMO or they keep missing trades and etc. Why they keep losing is because, first off, it starts with the good chart skills. Meaning, when I open a chart, how well can somebody interpret and understand what's going on? Knowledge and skills. Then the next step is, well, how does somebody turn that into a trade? How does somebody turn that into a trade in terms of where to buy, where to sell, where to buy, where to take profit, where to have a stop loss, where to have that? Do I go long here? Do I go short here? Right? How do I manage my risk, position sizing? Then that turns into more trading. So it's half charting, half trading. It's like 33%, 1/3 charting, 1/3 trading, and then 1/3 emotional and money management control. Basically. And having skills, knowledge, experience in all three of those, and then being able to execute with discipline. In my opinion, if someone's trying to become a successful trader, on a foundational level, okay? So how do I overcome the FOMO? Like I said in a couple of streams ago, is I just don't chase something. If something goes up like this, it's too late. Unless you have a mega Bitcoin going to 100,000, is different. Then you buy a dip, right? Then you could buy a dip and then hopefully it goes higher. But once this thing flagged and did not go higher than 85 cents, you have an inside bar, bearish candle. That is not good. Some very, very conservative traders will just get out of there, because that's not going up for them. Or maybe they might get their stop loss and tighten that up, 5%. And then if you get stopped out, you're actually happy you got stopped out, or else you'd be down negative 20%. Right? You have to understand that. So understanding trend, this was one green candle, that's an uptrend on like a 15 H5 or a 15 minute. Okay. I had to talk about this because crypto, some people could get destroyed in crypto. This is not even a very sustainable uptrend. Okay. On a 15 minutes, it's not a real one because you have high, low, and then it fizzled out. It went sideways. So we know anybody who FOMO'd in right here on the shooting star, they lost, unfortunately. That's why. How to overcome the FOMO again? You should get in early. Get in early. when there's a setup available. So all I have to do is say, okay, I see this here for 1 year, 1.5 years of data. Let me do some charting first. Chart this, get the support line, get the resistance line, and connect it. Ah, I see now. Okay. I see a what pattern? Ascending triangle pattern. That is typically a bullish pattern where the supports, if you study enough in the books and the charts, support is the entry. That's the buy for paper trading. General. It's never perfect, but in this particular case, there were 4 buy zones and there were 3 sell zones. Anybody who tried to short right here got destroyed. But these are the sell zone, sell zone, sell zone. But we know if we measure it, conservative measurement, let's say like 30%, 30 to 60%. How much did this go? 60%. Okay, so that's how. Conservative measurement. Sometimes I don't like to do the mega measurement, even though actually in this case it worked. 80% or 60%, right? From the breakout spot. It worked. Basically. Right? So now where's it going to go? If it's fading down, it's probably going to tap some kind of support. And again, with this Ripple news, there's no real reason for this thing to blast off to $3 right now. No real reason, unless there's a fundamental change. So we are in the golden up cross. Now, where's my support going to be? Might pull up a volume profile for this one. We're in no man's land. You see this big circle hole? There's nothing here. It's not sustainable. Where's the next big support level? Maybe somewhere here in a Fibonacci, 50 cents or 47 cents area. And if you want more, you kind of zoom in, and it's still in this downtrend. Yes, it might be oversold, and it's great. Once it gets too oversold, the day trading bots and everyone's going to buy that. That's why there is a trading opportunity for very patient and you're awake at that time when that happens. So just watch out for that. All right. Let's move on. Somebody has Solana. Let's just do that. It's related. Solana request. Now, this same person who asked about indicators, so we don't have to think about the indicators first yet. And I'm going to just answer this question in multiple parts. Before I get into the Solana technical analysis, I want to explain just for a few minutes is not what I'm using, but what's available on TradingView. On the left side, you have the tools, right? Your cross, you have your trend line tools, horizontal and angled. You have your Fibonacci tools, support and resistance, targets. You have your Elliott wave is trend-based tools, triangle pattern tools. You have your risk reward tools. Here, you have your brush and highlighter tools, rectangle tools. That's useful for horizontal-based support resistance. Just to name a few. And you can have some fun emojis as well, right? Just spice it up a little bit. It's TradingView is fun. So, Solana, USDT is professional and fun. It's rare to have both of that. It's good. And now, I have a toolbar up here. It's just your favorite. You just right click and I think you just star it and it goes on the favorites bar up here. Okay, so a lot of tools and there's a lot of articles, TradingView, YouTube, TradingView account here on the actual website, TradingView. They release a lot of quality articles, start there. And indicators, if you come up here or if you click /, right, there's a lot of free indicators. And I would encourage people, just open it up. Look at them. I looked at all of these many times individually on stocks and crypto. So I know what I like. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. So there's patterns here for beginners to learn. There's candlestick patterns, chart patterns. Just turn them all on and learn it, right? Or you can learn from books or from the internet or from teachers. Just a lot of explanation out there. Okay, and the indicator names, once you open it on the left side, you can see it here on my left side. This is a very standard type of indicator package. It's nothing super special. This is nothing. Everybody knows this. Once you're in TradingView or TradingView technical analysis long enough. So now we get to Solana. So remember, first off, Solana is on one of the SEC flagged coins as being a potential security. So there's basically a US government lawsuit against Solana. So we need to know that first. And the SEC lawsuit is ongoing against Coinbase Crypto Exchange and Binance Crypto Exchange, as well as maybe Robinhood, like a little bit. Okay. Now, how do I look at this? Is Solana price going up? Is it going down? Or is it going sideways? It is going sideways. It's a little bit up, but still going sideways. Okay. So high, higher, low, higher, high. We should have broke out above 33 to 34, 35 if this is going to be a true higher high. Okay. We are not in a real uptrend because that would look like the square here in 2020 when we're blasting off every week is new high price. That's how you know. And then you have a consolidation flag. It gets oversold and then people buy one more time. Then we have a head and shoulders pattern reversing to the downside, downtrend, get out of there, symmetrical triangle, bearish move to the downside. These are all technical. If you study charts long enough, you'll learn this. I'm doing a very abbreviated fast fashion. Same thing. We had a rally attempt. Oh, there should have been a dip and we didn't go higher, consolidate into a symmetrical triangle, hit the downside, and we had that oversold reversal bounce. All we need to do is, and this can apply to all crypto, all these concepts I'm saying, works on everything. Stocks, crypto, Forex, commodities, for analysis at least. Success rate for trading is a different story, but at least for analysis, it's very similar. Not quite ascending triangle. It's still a symmetrical triangle in my opinion. Where's the rate? It could go 60% up or down. 60% is $39. You pull back down from this part, 60%, that'll crash down to 650. Terrible move. All we need to know is this is your line in the sand, 1453. Or maybe even 20. We need to not go below 20 and we need to not go below 15. Those are support levels that if I was a conservative swing trader investor, I would wait for the next dip because there was a dip here, right? If I'm honest with myself, and I'm not just talking to one person right now, this is a teaching moment right now. If I look at this setup and in dotted yellow lines, where's the support? Where's the resistance? Support is right here. Support A, support B. Where the resistance? Resistance A, basically, and resistance B. If I'm a long, I want to buy the bottom because you get that margin of safety to actually have protection. This is a huge stop loss though. So somebody could get stopped out. Sometimes you got to get back into the trade. I'll just put a 10% stop loss for conservative, but it was 167% gain. That's a dream scenario for risk to reward. 16x reward to risk. Even if you had the 25% stop loss, still 6-1. It's incredible, but that's the beginning of this year, right? So somebody's very patient. They're waiting for these big dips, which is always takes discipline, but that's how somebody can have a higher win rate possibly, is 2 months of waiting, and then there's this one super dip right here, and then we get in there, 3-1 play, 46% profit if somebody waits to the end. So realistically, maybe someone would have gotten like 20 or something. Still really good. Then when it gets downtrended, because this is correlated with Bitcoin, you get the crash. Enter in one more time. Small percentage capital, larger stop loss because I know Solana. Yes, there's mega fear with the SEC, but it's still crypto trading. It's not outright banned yet. And we get this bullish move to the upside, right? So would I just recommend buying here on technicals alone? No, because we're at the resistance point. It's the zone, a resistance. If you're a day trader, maybe 15 minutes, something, you could see it's kind of getting into the oversold area. But if I'm a swing trader, no, I want more evidence than that. I want a safer trade. I want a higher risk trade because this is a little bit chasing. This is the problem with chasing is chase it, miss it, and then you buy the first dip and it keeps dipping on you. And that's why it's too late. It's on the right side of that trade. You want to be on the left side of that trade on an entry. You want to buy it and then let it pump up and then you stop loss and sell it for profit. That's how I have a higher win rate. And you don't hear me talking about chasing trades all the time. Okay, so that's my 15-minute speech on that. Very important because it matters for all stocks, all cryptos, right? Somebody's too late and have losses every single trade. That's an absolute losing strategy. for longs. We don't want that. Okay, that's just I taught a lot in that 15 minutes. It's basically like a entire TA course in like 15 minutes. All right, so let's look at space. Somebody had space. We're jumping back to stocks right now. I'm doing some requests. Space. Now, no matter what we're bullish on or bearish on or whatever the fundamentals are, if we're looking at the technical charts right now, again, just whatever news, whatever bias I have in my mind, I learned set it aside or try to set it aside just in my mind. Just set it aside for a second, for a few minutes. Then I look at the price. What's going on here? Is the price going up? Is it going down long term? Or is it going sideways? There's only 3 directions for trend. Long term, for investor, swing trader mindset style. It is going sideways right now. Okay. By definition, it's range bound. It's been stuck between long term here, between $6 and $3, basically. You can see it now in the parallel channel. However, it did crash a lot after 2021-22, very much down, negative 95 to negative 93% off. So if space, now we get into the next mindset of what investor is this company going to survive? What's the earnings? It was pretty bad on the revenue, so they have not been making money. Or the earnings. Actually, they didn't make revenue until right now. Until a couple months ago, right? So what's going to happen with the space exploration? Is it safe? What's going on here? Virgin Galactic, etc. Airplanes, right? So until this thing really breaks out, you'll have the uptrend like this, lower low like this, right? Going sideways. And it's trying to maintain an uptrend here. So in this case, would I buy resistance as a longer support? I would actually recommend, as an educational example, this is not financial advice, is the support place, right? This is what I did with Coinbase. I'll pull it up after, and I'm up in Coinbase right now, even though it's very, very scary in the news. But the chart is good. The chart was good, right? So it's still in a short-term consolidation and downtrend right now. But what I'm watching for is this blue line. Is if it holds here, that's actually good. Let's make it real support, yellow line. If it holds there, that's actually good. You'll know you're in trouble on space if it loses the support, $3, and it starts downtrending forever. And it goes all the way down to $2, $1. That's not good. We're too early on the long trade. So the company needs positive news, catalyst. And then the buyers will say, hey, this thing's actually pretty low. I like to buy this for investment. And the best case scenario is this thing goes back up to like $10 or $12. You get 200% on that. So it's a delicate balance between risk reward, technical charts, fundamental news. And TradingView did add their new, I saw the article about it, the new financials, right? Where you can actually search it now. Before you couldn't search it. So if you type something like revenue and you actually pull that up, oh, and now I could see it's actually better now. So we cannot, for stocks, we cannot ignore the fundamentals. We cannot ignore the broader market. And it's not just my opinion. Many mentors and professionals who taught me, my mentors, they said, what is the data? Like, what is happening with the company? And know the company. Know what I own. So stocks and crypto makes a lot of sense for that. All right, I'm just going to wrap up here. We're rapid fire for a couple minutes, a couple more cryptos, and then I'm off. So yes, it sounds really speechy today, but I'm just in that teaching mode right now. So I'm not in trading mode right now. I am in chart analysis and education mode right now. Crypto USA list. Let's go down to, let's take a quick look at the dominance. Same thing here with the dominance. Remember, we're not at the bottom of this Bitcoin dominance anymore of 39%. It rallied all the way up, and now we're at about 50% here. And so that's why we're getting this pullback. The parabolic purple line, if this is a lower high, it's not really good for Bitcoin. Okay, USDT dominance is also on the little bit of this uptrend. Support bounced off. That's why Bitcoin is also in a little bit of a downtrend. Cardano, we skipped this one. You can see Cardano. Cardano looks like space stock. Does this not? Very similar. That's why technical analysis works. We have the uptrend. Big problem here on this consolidation, distribution, downtrend. And then we're in the same channel, just like space. But it's a totally different company and asset. So you can see here, the support did hold, bounce up to the upside. Now, sometimes it tries to pierce up to the upside and it fails. That's why I don't recommend breakouts too much. I want to try to buy the bottom or the middle at least and hang on and, you know, adjust stop losses or whatever your trading target is or investing target and just try to manage that. Sometimes if it's an unmanaged trade, some people, this is the worst strategy possible, but if people have no stop loss, it just crashes back down on you and you actually lost money. So one of my mentors was a Goldman Sachs fund manager back in the day, and he taught me, he said, if, let's say I'm in this trade, for example, and if I'm going to, and it's going up on me, right? And I make a statement saying, oh, I'm going to sell if it comes back down to 35 cents and it's at 41 cents. He taught me, said, why would I do that? He said, why would I lose money? Why would I lose the profit? If I am going to sell down at 35 and I'm up in 41-cent profit, sell it now to make more money, to take the profit. Why would I let it go down if my goal is to make money? Does that make sense? It's very blunt. He was very blunt, but it actually logically it makes sense. Is why would I let the stock or crypto crash back down to 22 cents when I was up? If a trader's up 42% or whatever, just sell it there, have a stop loss and commit to it, right? Make the decision. So sometimes trading, you have to think about it. A lot of times people get into trouble because they feel it in their emotions, in their heart, in their soul, or in their body. And greed or fear is very powerful emotions, especially when the candles are moving, everything's blinking in front of your face, right? So that's why it's just, you got to have, even for me, I always remember that. I always remember what he taught me about that. Is if I'm a trader, is manage the risk very, very strongly. Very strongly. So just an example there. So Cardano, it's still going sideways, right? It's still going sideways. And just want to watch out for that. Now, this could be turning into a very large weekly double bottom, right? You kind of see it. This will actually be kind of nice if this turns to be real, because what a double bottom means, we're having support down here and it could blast off later. Any positive catalyst, a win against the SEC or big news with Cardano could make Cardano go up 65 cents to the top side or 130%, which takes us basically right back up to almost $1. So just kind of watch out for that. I'm keeping an eye on Cardano. I have my own crypto portfolio. So Cardano, I'll keep an eye on this one. If it pulls back, will it hold support 25 cents, yes or no? And that'll help me in that decision. Do you want to verbally confirm these rest of these? AVAX in a descending triangle, so watch out. If it loses $10 support, it's in trouble. The price. DOT as well, because these are some of these SEC flagged coins. If we lose the support in the yellow box down here of about 430, the downtrend can continue, so watch out for that. Dogecoin is symmetrical triangle still as well, holding that support level of 6 cents, and see if we could break out above the 8-cent range or not, or it's going to get shorted down below 6 cents. Shiba Inu, a little bit of positive news here, and again, this is not only a technical play. There was a news catalyst where Binance said it's going to be a Shiba Inu can be used as collateral pairing or something like that, right? It's right here as collateral asset, made the news. So that bounced up. on the technical reason, because I am holding Shiba Inu, I am in this coin for full transparency as an investor, retail investor, is where did it start? Well, it started here at 1892, crashed all the way down to 661, and then we had the mega rally. So we actually crashed back down to 650. That was that support level. So if somebody wanted to, it's dangerous, but I know from experience, well, might as well just do it, right? A little bit of risk at least, because it's at the bottom spot. Because do I want to buy at point A, B, C, or D for a long? A or D, either one of those, because it's low. It was 91% off. It's like I always teach people, I go to a store, if I see Apple iPhone brand new, Apple iPhone 14, it's 90% off, still brand new. iPhone 14, that's an insta buy for me, yes. Or I would ask like, why? How is it negative 90% off? So, oh, it's just a Black Friday sale. Oh, okay, for sure, yes. Please, buy. Buy. Right? So same deal here. Shiba Inu is not an iPhone. It's not Apple. It's just a dog cryptocurrency to start as a joke. But I'm just saying the relative price though, because B's high. Unfortunately, I know people who bought up here and they held it all the way down. That's what I'm saying. Risk management. No. You have to have a stop loss, negative 10, negative 20%. Maybe for a full account, maybe a negative 5% or negative 10% maximum, because then it's okay to recover those funds in the future. Negative 50% account loss is devastating. Negative 80% is game over. Might as well start over, right? Because it's probably not going to go up for a very, very long time, if at all. Some cryptos go to zero. FTX, Luna, Celsius, bankrupt. So Shiba Inu, I took the risk at point D. I started building here in the middle. I said, oh, January, December. Okay. And it's coming down. So I started building a position right here, May, June, July. So I'm in the support zone, averaging. And it started to go up a little bit. Now, where can it go? The target, 1200, and support level like 600. So it needs to just never go below 600, and then I'm actually fine. Just an example trade that I did. Okay, everybody. Today was a lot of education and information, so it feels overwhelming. It's just a lot. This is kind of more of an intermediate to advanced stream, but I like telling the truth, the knowledge. I don't want to hide anything because the market is so full of, there's misinformation, there's people trying to do all sorts of weird things on social media, and crypto can be a dark place in the dark times of crypto winter, right? So for me, I'm just trying to teach and give free technical analysis. You could donate, it's always appreciated. But my streams right now, if you want to ask a question, for now at least, I've been doing this for almost 2 years now on TradingView. Been an analyst trader for 5 years. So right now, it's basically free request. One question or request, ticker symbol. If you want to just ask me on the live chat every week, just let me know. Great. So the next time I'm going to be back, my schedule this month is going to be weird. It's going to change. But usually I usually streamed on Sunday nights, but for this entire month, I have to, whenever I have time between Friday to Monday, I'm in the USA, so USA evening time. One of these days I'm going to go live. But if you subscribe to TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, we also have a Twitter group, especially if you subscribe to YouTube and turn notification bell on, then and if you have the app or email notifications, you'll know. If you can't make a stream, always feel free in the YouTube comments to just ask the question there. And then if I manage to see it, I'll answer it. So thank you so much, everybody. Okay, great. I appreciate that. And I too once was a beginner. So if anyone has questions, just feel free to let me know next time. So thank you for joining, for everybody. If you liked it, or if you like the stream or learned something, go and give me a follow on any of these platforms, and I'll be here in the next stream. So I hope everybody has a nice weekend, a nice week, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and bye bye.